Dijonai's mad. She's mad about Christine Brennan's book.
Dijonai Carrington probably promoted the book as well as it could possibly be promoted.
She had tweeted something along the lines of like, it's time for me to sue at this point.
She poked Caitlin Clark in the eye, denied it, and now she's threatening to sue over the book that tells the truth.
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am. So yeah, no, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her. So I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened.
Dijonai Carrington is furious after shocking details were exposed in Christine Brennan's new Caitlin Clark book.
She's accusing her of, defaming her character.
And she's ready to take legal action. But with eyewitnesses backing the author and the league under a microscope, this could backfire big time. If you're 100% Team Caitlin,
Caitlin Clark has captivated the nation, breaking scoring records in college and bringing women's basketball to a whole new audience. Now in the WNBA, she's turning even non-sports fans into diehard supporters.
Drop it in the comments now, because things are about to get messy.
Who is this? This is a moment.
Caitlin Clark and the revolution in women's sports.
The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark.
Dijonai Carrington didn't just take issue with a question at a press conference.
Christine Brennan presents as a truly awful human being.
She's now threatening a lawsuit over it.
Making a defamation of character claim is extremely serious, though she's about ready to sue.
The storm began after CNN published excerpts from On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports.
Christine Brennan. The book is called On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports. Brennan writes that the WNBA was unprepared for Caitlin Clark's entrance.
A new book by veteran journalist Christine Brennan. In it, Brennan recounts an explosive confrontation Carrington had with reporters, an incident that allegedly involved her storming behind a curtain at the Fever facility, shouting at journalists, and accusing them of bad-mouthing her girlfriend, Nalissa Smith. Carrington responded online with laughing emojis, the classic Pinocchio nose for lies.
The emojis, the three, the Pinocchio, like lion emoji, nose, then the cap, and then laughing emojis. And then she added, defamation of character at this point.
And then escalated the situation by tweeting, defamation of character at this point.
She had tweeted something along the lines of like, it's time for me to sue at this point. She's accusing her of, defaming her character.
Posted defamation of character. Defamation of character at this point.
That wasn't a random complaint. That's legal language. She was signaling a possible lawsuit. But here's where it gets interesting and dangerous for Carrington. Brennan isn't just telling stories off the cuff. She names names, including respected reporters Scott Agnes and Chloe Peterson, as witnesses.
You do realize there were witnesses to said story, and if you actually pulled the journalist in the court, they're going to bring those witnesses in
who were physically present during the incident. These journalists are backing her up. That makes Brennan's account not just credible, it's protected. It's not defamation if it's true. In fact, Carrington could be the one walking into a legal trap.
Said journalist who got her reputation attacked by you by calling her a liar could hit you with a defamation case.
One commentator put it perfectly. If you drag a journalist into court, the truth comes with them.
That defamation case can become a boomerang. She right back in the face.
And when they bring witnesses, you better hope your version lines up. And Carrington's doesn't. The odds of this case going in her favor? Slim to none.
These witnesses want to come forward and be like, yeah, that happened. It turns back in Dijonai's direction.
But this isn't just about one argument. The legal threat feels like a desperate attempt to control the narrative, one that Caitlin Clark's rising stardom has already reshaped. Because while Carrington lashes out online and plays victim, Brennan's book is doing what the WNBA rarely allows. It's exposing what really happens behind the scenes. And a lot of people don't like that. Carrington's outburst has only made the book, and Caitlin Clark, even more relevant. She wanted to silence the story. Instead, she put a spotlight on it.
Dijonai Carrington probably promoted the book as well as it could possibly be promoted. Congratulations to Dijonai Carrington for being the #1 promoter of Christine Brennan's Caitlin Clark book.
And now the world is watching. Let's rewind to what ignited all this, the infamous eye poke incident.
Christine Brennan caused a lot of controversy for asking WNBA guard Dijonai Carrington whether she had intentionally poked Indiana Fever star guard Caitlin Clark in the eye during a playoff game.
During a heated matchup between the Connecticut Sun and the Indiana Fever, cameras captured Dijonai Carrington swatting at Caitlin Clark and appearing to hit her directly in the eye. The footage spread like wildfire online. Slowed down replays left no doubt something happened. The question became, was it intentional? At the post-game press conference, USA Today journalist Christine Brennan asked Carrington the question everyone was thinking. Did you intend to hit Caitlin in the eye?
Did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
Christine Brennan asking WNBA guard Dijonai Carrington whether she had intentionally poked an Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark in the eye.
Carrington was visibly annoyed and insisted it was accidental. She said, I didn't know I hit her. I was trying to make a play on the ball.
I didn't intend to do it. It wasn't intentional. I didn't even know I did it.
She called the idea of her doing it on purpose ridiculous and brushed it off as a basketball move.
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am.
But here's the problem. She never apologized. Not publicly, not even a simple sorry to Clark.
If I did, it's not even if I did hit Caitlin Clark in the eye. Again, I did not mean that. Okay, I want to apologize to Caitlin Clark.
And that's where things got worse. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, handled it like a pro. She never threw Carrington under the bus. She never accused anyone. Even when asked about the play, Clark gave her the benefit of the doubt. That's the difference. One acted like a pro. The other lashed out at reporters just for doing their jobs. Instead of ending it there, Carrington and her defenders tried to spin the narrative. The WNBA Players Association even released a statement attacking Brennan for asking the question.
Not only was she mad, the Players Association was mad because the journalist asked a valid question.
As if journalists should avoid holding players accountable. That reaction sent a clear message. If you challenge certain players, you'll be painted as the problem. But fans weren't buying it. Sports fans, especially those new to the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark, demand real answers. They're used to seeing high-level athletes answer tough questions without getting defensive. In the NBA, NFL, and even NCAA men's basketball, players face the media every day and respond with professionalism. No meltdown, no drama, no accusations. Christine Brennan's question wasn't disrespectful. It was standard sports journalism.
I didn't like the way Brennan phrased her question. Big boy and girl pants questions.
And when you step onto the court and collect a professional paycheck, that comes with the territory. Then came Brennan's book. The excerpt that really sparked Carrington's fury described a behind-the-scenes confrontation.
CNN published including a confrontation between her and Alyssa Smith.
Something far more personal. According to the account, Carrington allegedly approached reporters backstage and accused them of talking trash about her girlfriend, Fever player Alyssa Smith.
Why are you talking shit about Alyssa? She blurted out, referring to her partner.
Carrington surprised us with her appearance between the curtains, the excerpt wrote. So this is what Dijonai Carrington had to say to them. She says, why are you talking ish about Alyssa?
Waiting, Carrington surprised us with her appearance between the curtains. Why are you talking shit about Alyssa?
She reportedly shouted at them in a private area, visibly angry.
You're saying she's a bad teammate, Carrington yelled.
And pointed fingers at Brennan and two others. Now, Carrington claims that story is false. But again, Brennan has named two other reporters who confirm it happened. This isn't rumor. This is corroborated reporting. And instead of addressing the facts, Carrington responded with emojis and veiled legal threats. What makes this even more absurd is that Caitlin Clark herself never escalated the situation. She's the one who got poked in the eye, remember? She's the one who's been shoved, tripped, elbowed, and excluded all season. And she just keeps playing ball. Meanwhile, Carrington is out here threatening to sue over a few pages in a book. That contrast is why Caitlin Clark is winning, not just in stats or highlights, but in public perception. Fans can see the difference between someone who elevates the game and someone who lashes out when the spotlight reveals too much.
But when people start watching, actual sports fans, we demand that questions like that actually be answered.
And let's be clear, this isn't about one isolated moment. The eye poke incident wasn't the first time Carrington's name has come up for reckless behavior on the court.
They're going to see eye pokes and, yeah, all of that's going to come out in court.
Even some WNBA commentators have noted a pattern. Carrington plays emotional, she crosses lines, and she's quick to blame others.
Dijonai Carrington has been a habitual line stepper. That is fair to question.
When things don't go her way.
Not the friendliest person I've ever seen, or might not be able to hold their temper.
That's not the example the league needs. So when Christine Brennan asked a question and later published a story backed by witnesses, it wasn't an attack, it was accountability. And Carrington's reaction only confirms what many already suspected. She's not mad because it's false. She's mad because it's true.
Nobody's cared about your league to ask. Nobody was watching. Nobody's going to ask about it.
What started with a finger to the eye has exposed something much bigger than just a heated moment in a game. This isn't just about Dijonai Carrington, a lawsuit, or a journalist book. This is about a cultural clash inside the WNBA, one that Caitlin Clark didn't create, but her presence has forced into the light. Here's the truth. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the league, she shifted it. She brought the cameras, the fans, the dollars, the media, and most importantly, the scrutiny. And a league that spent decades begging for attention is now panicking because they're finally getting it, and they don't like how it feels. For years, the WNBA was under the radar. Players could act out, play recklessly, ignore the media, and no one batted an eye because no one was watching. But Caitlin Clark changed all of that. Every game she plays is a headline. Every highlight is viral. Every stat is dissected by sports media across the country. And suddenly, players like Dijonai Carrington are being held accountable for things that used to slide under the radar. That's uncomfortable. That's new. And it's showing cracks in the culture.
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am. So yeah, no, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her. So I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened.
Carrington's reaction, calling out journalists, threatening lawsuits, doubling down on defensiveness, isn't just about a book. It's about a deeper resentment. Resentment toward the new face of the league. Resentment toward the player who's getting the endorsement deals, the shoe lines, and the fan base they never had. Instead of embracing the momentum Caitlin brought in,
the way she came into the WNBA with all the hype, we hadn't seen this before.
Caitlin Clark is the one bringing all the media attention. Caitlin Clark is the one bringing all the young guys to the WNBA, people who are wanting to watch and tune into all these games. All the fans want to be just like Caitlin.
Many players have responded with passive aggression, exclusion, and open hostility. The media's been seeing it. Fans have been calling it out. And Brennan's book just put it all in writing. Let's not forget what happened off the court. Carrington didn't just deny the eye poke or brush off the confrontation. She attacked the messenger, and the league backed her. When Brennan asked a direct and valid question, the WNBA Players Association accused her of crossing the line. Think about that. A professional journalist asking about a visible play in a nationally televised game was framed as being disrespectful, just because it involved one of their own. That's not journalism under attack. That's a culture problem.
Does the safety of journalists who cover the league matter?
And it's not just Carrington. Other players, like DeWanna Bonner, confronted Brennan in defense of Carrington. The loyalty is admirable, but it's misplaced. When the league shields bad behavior, it tells the public that professionalism takes a back seat to personal feelings. That's not how successful leagues operate. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to show restraint. She doesn't respond with drama. She doesn't rant on social media. She doesn't sue. She just plays. She answers every hit with a bucket, every cheap shot with a smile, every insult with a stat line, and that's what makes her dangerous. Not to opponents on the court, but to the players who become comfortable with mediocrity. The numbers don't lie. Since Clark's debut, ratings have spiked, merchandise sales exploded, and the WNBA is finally making headlines for more than just social media drama.
She is by far the best player in the league. All the fans want to be just like Caitlin.
She's the biggest draw by far this league has ever had.
But instead of riding that wave, certain players have become gatekeepers, protective of a status quo that never delivered real success. Christine Brennan's book threatens that status quo. It tells the uncomfortable truth that jealousy, pettiness, and off-court drama are holding this league back. And now that those dynamics are under the microscope, the backlash has been fierce. But here's the kicker. It's only reinforcing the very image they're trying to avoid. Carrington threatening a lawsuit over a few pages in a book, while eyewitnesses back Brennan's version of events. That's not strength.
Dijonai Carrington probably promoted the book as well as it could possibly be promoted.
No, he's mad. She's mad about Christine Brennan's book.
She had tweeted something along the lines of like, it's time for me to sue at this point.
That's panic. That's what happens when a league built on being overlooked suddenly has the world watching, and not everyone is ready for the spotlight. Caitlin Clark is. She was built for this. She knows what pressure looks like. She faced it at Iowa, at the Final Four, during the Olympic snub, and now in the WNBA. And every time she's handled it with class. That's why she's the face of the league, whether some players like it or not. So here's the bigger truth. This isn't a Caitlin Clark versus Dijonai Carrington story. This is Caitlin Clark versus a league struggling to accept change. And the longer the league protects hostility over accountability, the more it risks alienating the very fans Clark brought in. And that's the real lawsuit waiting to happen. Not in court, but in the court of public opinion.
Because she is not happy at all about you, so quote unquote, trying to spread the tea, spill the tea about her.
So now the truth is out, and it's bigger than a lawsuit or a book. Dijonai Carrington tried to rewrite the narrative, but all she did was shine an even brighter light on Caitlin Clark and expose a league that's still fighting its own progress. Christine Brennan's book didn't create controversy, it revealed it.
I knew Brennan's book was going to rattle some cages.
And the backlash from Carrington only proves how uncomfortable some players are with accountability, professionalism, and the new standard Caitlin Clark represents.
Especially men, guys who I've never heard from before, who were just amazed by Caitlin Clark, loving the magic of her performances, chucking it from the parking lot.
While others play victim and scream defamation, Caitlin just keeps showing up, playing ball, and proving why she's the biggest thing to ever happen to the WNBA. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about truth, power, and what kind of league the WNBA wants to be. And if you're still 100% Team Caitlin after everything you just heard, let it be known in the comments, loud and clear, because this is far from over.